Hi everyone, my name is Mohsen Khalid and I'm a technical architect for Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform. Today I'm going to be discussing about the announcement that Microsoft has on the new application lifecycle management and how it addresses the pain points. There's going to be a quick walkthrough of and a demo of the new connection references option that has been provided by Microsoft. So the major news is definitely on flows and how you can leverage the connection references piece within flow connections, and same applies for Canvas apps as well. And without further ado, I want to talk about what was the problem. So the problem initially is definitely that for each flow, when we import it, we have to configure the connections right now and then turn those flows on. And there is no ability for environment specific connections to be included as part of your solution package. And if you are moving from dev to test and to production, you will need to go through this cycle for each flow. And solution offered by Microsoft is connection references, which allow us to address all three areas, which is we can now enter environment specific connections. We can import the flows as turned on, and we get the option to do all of this while we are importing the solution. And what is connection references itself? It's basically a abstract middle layer that Microsoft added in between your flow or Canvas app and the connection itself. So now we have an abstract layer called connection references that is allowing us to set a reference on the flow or Canvas app itself, and then at the time of import, configure the connection itself on it. And without further ado, I'm going to jump into a quick demo of this. I have two environments. On my left, I would call this a demo environment for development, and on my right is the target environment, which can be considered as a production environment. So I have created a sample solution over here, and right now it's empty. I'm going to walk through a quick creation of a Power Automate flow using the Outlook connector. So in this case, what I will do is I will use the manual trigger and add a step to send an email. So now, since this solution experience has been released, what happens at the back is when you create a connection, Microsoft is automatically creating a connection reference for this connection within our solution. And we will go back to see how that is created. I will save the flow. And turn it on, and the flow should be on by default. That's good. And now when I come back to my solution, I will see the flow listed here. Now there is a small bug right here that in the all filter you do not currently see the connection references, but no worries. We go to the connection reference filter itself, it's in preview, and we will see our connection reference. So when I was creating the connection to Outlook connector, the pop-up did not appear on my recording screen. This connection reference got created itself. Now we always have the ability to also create a connection reference ourselves manually. So I can select a name and then I can choose the connector that I do want to use the connection reference for. It could be the common data service connector or something else as well. So what I'll do, I'll just actually add a test common data service connector on my solution before we bring it over to the environment. Now in the connection string, whether if you do not have a connection already with the common data service, it will give you the ability to create that connection. And as you can see, I'm doing that over here with one of my access accounts, and now I will have the ability to refresh and select that connection on top of the connection reference. So now this connection reference, I'm not using it anywhere within the flow. or any other component, but I just have it added as a individual component to my solution. If I refresh, I should see it in my connection references filter. Yes, both of them are there. Now what we'll do is we will go through a quick export cycle and see the import experience. So I will publish this flow. And export it as managed because I'm importing it to my target production environment. Now I have the solution exported. I will import it into my target environment. This is another environment that I have. We'll select the correct environment that I want to import this in. And from here on, I will select my solution and run the import cycle. Now from here on, when I click on next, the screen for configuring the connection references will appear. What this does is it gives you the ability to set your connections at this point instead of going in the flow and setting it up. So I already have a connection created with Outlook, so I just select that in my connection reference for Outlook. I do not have a connection created on the Common Data Service, so I will click on New, create that connection on this environment as we did in our development environment. And then go back and refresh, and I'm able to select the connection. So this will give us the neat ability to configure connection references at the point of import, and then if we have, does not matter if we have one flow or 50 flows, they will all get configured when we click import, and they will be imported as on. So once I am done with the import, I do not need to go to each flow and edit it, configure a connection on it, and then turn it on. And this experience applies to upgrades as well. So now that our solution is imported, let us go and see what we have. Our flow is there and it is, the status is on, and also go to the flow and validate. So our flow is on and we are good to go without needing to configure any connections. If I filter down to my connection references, they should be here as well. And that was a quick review and overview of the new solution import experience with regards to connection references. Thank you for watching.